What up, YouTube Digital? Now I got something here that I like all you. Can you turn on that big light? Sweating like a motherfucker. It's actually hot in Reno right now, so just take that in mind. Now, before I show this, understand that I'm not going to eat all this, and whatever I have left over is going to be Vader's surprise tonight. Yes, we do feed Vader from time to time human food, but we do it in the deal that it's in his bowl and everything else. He doesn't come big. Obviously, he's not right here because he knows he'd get his ass whooped. And no, I don't beat him. Do I beat Vader? Wait a minute. There's a difference between play fighting with him and beating him. Have I gone up there and kicked him to the point where he's gone across the room?
No.
Okay, that's all you need to know. Now, when I cook food, I was a bachelor for many years. So I have learned to use seasonings to make something that normally is just a shit meal into a lot better of a meal. Now, one of my trademark meals, which you love, is taking Top Ramen, however you want to say it. You cook it as normal, but you drain it 100%. Then you add the flavor packet to it. But at the same time, you cook up the Jimmy Dean roll of sausage. You cook up some of that. Usually about this much. If the roll is like this, you know, the standard roll size, you usually do about this much per package. So a roll should be able to do about 3 to 4 packages, okay? So that gives you a little deal. Now, I usually put 2 eggs per package. And basically, you do what I just said, then you add the sausage cooked. You cook it to the side. Always cook that shit to the side. Cook the eggs to the side, scrambled, and you add it, or fried, and kind of, chop it up either way. You add it to it, and you mix it all up, and basically you kind of got a poor man's fried rice. What a lot of people don't know is fried rice is a breakfast. It came because people were throwing everything in together from last night's meal. So it's a poor man's fried rice. Try it. Top ramen, whatever. Chicken. It can be chicken, beef. Doesn't matter. Cook it normal. Drain it. Add the packet of flavor at that point. If you have problems because, it's a little drier, you can toss it with forks. Okay? Then you add cooked sausage to it. You can even use sausage links, just chop them. Then you add a couple fried eggs chopped up and put in there. And it's good. And it's cheap. It's a cheap meal. Okay? Now this is kind of a little different twist of it. Now this is macaroni and cheese.
With veggies in it?
Yeah, it's a macaroni and cheese with veggie in it.
Yeah, veggie pasta.
Veggie pasta. Go get the other box if you can.
Okay.
Good. Now, what I also did is I have some meat right here. 2 different types. Oh, fuck yeah. Bring me, okay. Bring me the 4 main spices I used. Bring me the grill, that tall grill, one with the black lid for steak. They'll say like hickory or mesquite steak, and it'll be up in a cupboard. Also give me garlic powder, and then those 2 other bottles. Okay? Now, as we know, when you cook hamburger or sausage, it greases up. When it greases up, it's pushing the flavor back out. That's why barbecuing it is a win-win, because you get the grease out, but then you're constantly adding barbecue sauce for the meat to soak it back in. So it's a win-win. But when you're not barbecuing it and you're doing it on a pan, you're kind of fucked. So a trick is to do it after. And basically, after the pasta, I started the pasta doing its thing, cooked it as normal. This package, which is Kraft macaroni veggie, okay? Which, let me just grab a piece on its own. Now it will have some sort of flavoring to it. It's pretty good. It's not.
I think I got them all right.
Except for, take this out, because it's the same as this. But no, the other one is in it, up above this. It's a bigger bottle, and it's taller, and it'll have a black lid on it. And it'll say like Steak Mystique or something like that.
Oh.
Okay?
And
Okay. Now this one says, 6 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of butter, quarter milk. And if you don't know about butter, if you use cube, don't use when you're doing something like this, don't use soft serve, use cube. Always have cube with you. And if you don't know, cube also has a mark on a piece of paper that tells you where a teaspoon is, or a tablespoon. Sorry, table. So, okay, so 6 cups of water, 2 tablespoons, 1/4 cup of milk. But, these macaroni and cheese kind of vary by who makes it and what flavor or whatever. This one says boil, strain, then add all the other shit to it, the milk. Perfect. Okay, you can take yours. Well, hold on. I'm almost done here. So this one adds the quarter milk, tablespoon, and everything else afterwards, which I did. Then I add a little garlic, because I'm a garlic motherfucker. I'll eat cloves of garlic for fun. And I added a little bit of this. Now, this has a little bit more involved in it. I took a bouillon cube of chicken and a bouillon cube of garlic. And if I can find it, I'll show you which one it is. And I put it in here and I shook it up, and it helps out. Matter of fact, can you bring the, you can put these, right next to this below, to the left, there's a little green box with the green on it. A little box about 2 by 2. A little square.
With those little
Yeah,
things.
yeah, the box stuff. So we can see what brand it is. So I followed this as planned, and then I added a little bit of more flavoring in here in the form of generic A1, not much, maybe a tablespoon, and then also liquid smoke. Be careful, only a few drips. You don't want to go overboard with this, or you're gonna fucking want to kill yourself. Okay.
Mostly the same.
Yeah, it's the same. This company, this company right here, KNORR, they make cilantro cubes. They make garlic cubes, which are fucking awesome. And they also make some chicken and beef bouillon cubes. This is what a cilantro cube looks like. And they're fucking awesome. They really are. I like the garlic ones a lot. I'm going to have to go buy a whole bunch more. I believe Walmart sells these. Okay, so the other day CVS had a whole bunch of garlic. It had these garlic powder, onion powder, basil, vanilla extracts, and a couple other things, 10 for $10. So, of course, you know, I use this like a motherfucker. So, I had to get a whole bunch of these. So, this were put on the meat after. The meat is 3 frozen patties. You know, normal, the cheap ass ones that you get 12 in a bag to barbecue with. 3 of those, microwaved them for a minute in a bowl, threw them in a pan, cooked them. Then the sausage, which would be this piece, fucking had no, after I cooked it, it had no good flavor in it. Fucking rocking it now. After that was done, I added these two. I strained it to get all the grease out, and I put the grease on Vader's dry dog food. And then I seasoned with these two things. And then I added a tad A1. Like 2 drips of this. And I kind of let it soak, you know, spun it around. And then I added it into the macaroni. And now, Isabella, come take a bite.
I already did.
Well, take a bite and you tell them how you think. She's
It was good.
She's a picky ass eater too. Go ahead and take a bite.
I said it was good.
Alright, fine. You can hear all of this, you take all this other stuff and put it away then. You bratty brat. But basically, it turned out, let me grab a good universal. It turned out looking like this. And, let me see here. Trying to think of, I'll use this light. I gotta get a better light set up in here. It's got a lot of, I know it's hard to see, but it's got a lot of flavory looking stuff and fucking awesome. Awesome. The thing is the meat when you fry it on a stove has that issue with the grease, and you got to be sure to get the grease out. Wendy's, this is a secret for people who like Wendy's chili. I love Wendy's chili. I don't like super hot chilies, but I love Wendy's chili. Rip it out of my damn hands. Okay, you can go eat. We'll talk after that. Yes, while you eat.
Okay.
Hurry up. Wendy's uses 20 big patties, 40 small, to make a chili pot, a big chili pot. And before, if you're working a grill and you have what's called chili meat, where like you're staging your meat, raw, first turn, second turn, pressed, blah blah, you know, you have a rotation going. And if you end up over here and after a while you don't know how to like take your spatula, poke it a few times and get some grease and put it in there or something like that, you don't know how to do those things or keep it alive or anything else. You have what's called chili meat, where it's meat that's too dry, so, or it burnt or something like that. So you have a pan on the back of your stove or your stovetop, and you flip it in there, and at the end of the day, you know, they separate them all out, and they make pre-prepared pots of how much it takes to build, you know, one batch of chili and they take them, they put them in the freezer, of course, or the refrigerator, because they never freeze their meat, which is good. They put them in a refrigerator to chill it down to a safe level. Then when they're ready to make the pot of chili, they go in, they grab it, they throw it in a pot on the stove, and it boils for about 30 minutes. And you would just sit there and be at awe of how much grease comes out of those. And then you dump out the water and all the grease, and you have hamburgers there. And technically, they're good enough to use right then. You could put a piece of cheese on it, it'd melt and everything else because they're that hot. And if you taste them, they are okay. But they're not great because you just took out the grease and flavor. But that's why the chili, you put it back in, you chop up all the pieces with your spatula, and then you pour it in a chili pot with all the seasoning, the 3 type of beans, and all that other shit. And when it's sitting there cooking for about, how long does it take to cook? Is it 1 hour or 2 hours? Because they kind of do cook it pretty fast. However long it takes to cook, the meat, because it had everything pushed out, it will suck it all back in. And that's why their chili's good, because it has no grease in it. And that's where a lot of people, and even amateurs, make a mistake with chili, is they don't make sure the grease is out of the thing. They're so worried about seasoning the meat beforehand, and the problem is the meat sucks because it gets grease locked, and the grease takes over and it tastes like shit. And if you boil it, all the flavoring comes out. This has flavor in it. So take it from me. A few tricks I use. Some people who cook on a regular basis know this, but a lot of people don't. You'd be shocked at how many people I see make the same mistake over and over again with meat. Never cook, like I cooked the sausage on its own and the meat on its own. I did add them together when the sausage was about 9/10 done and the meat itself was done. And so I did that, and I didn't want to mix them beforehand because of E. coli and all that other bullshit, but I mixed them at that point. So also keep that in mind. But even if I don't finish it, I can package the rest for lunch tomorrow, and it will taste good because there's no fucking grease in it. No grease in it, because that's why leftovers taste like shit. Because there's fucking grease in it. So, anywho, peace.